What up, guys? It's your boy Nerdy Red 23. How are y'all doing out there today? My day is going cool. I'll be playing basketball in a little bit, but I'm here to talk about Funkadelic's third album, Maggot Brain, being released of July 12th of 1971. Happy 54 years to this album, and it's still a funky classic. And to let y'all know, it was released through Westbound Records, and it was produced by the band leader George Clinton himself and recorded at United Sound Systems in Detroit during the late 1970 and early 1971. The album was the final LP record by the original Funkadelic lineup after its release. Founding members of Tawl Ross, guitar, and Billy Nelson bass, and Tiki Fulwood drums, and left the band for various reasons. This is an amazing album. You got amazing singles on here like You and Your Folks, Me and My Folks, Can You Get to That, and Hit It and Quit It. And then, of course, Wars of Armageddon, and Maggot Brain, of course, the title track, and Super Stupid, Back in Our Minds. So many classics, man. There's more stories I would love to tell about this album. So, as y'all can see, this woman right here rocking out the big afro, she was a real model. She was a model, actually. May God rest her soul. Her name was Barbara Cheeseborough. It's kind of a funny name, Cheeseborough. But anyways, yeah, she was a model that she decided to be on the cover right here just to show that screaming, like, look right there. Super cool, though. And the album charted on the Billboard R&B Top 20, and it features a 10-minute title track, largely consisting of improvised, solo by guitarist Eddie Hazel. And in 2009, Pitchfork named it the 17th best album of the 1970s. And then in 2020, Rolling Stone ranked the album as the 136th greatest album of all time in its updated list. And the album opens with a spoken word monologue by Funkadelic bandleader Mr. Clinton, which refers to the maggots in the mind of the universe. According to the legend himself, the opening title track, according to legend, the opening title track was recorded in one take when Clinton, under the influence of LSD, told lead guitarist Eddie Hazel to play as if he had just learned his mother was dead. Clinton instructed him to picture that day, what would he feel, how he would make sense of his life, how he would take a measure of everything that was inside of him. Oops. Sorry. Let's see if I can fix that. Okay. That should be fine. Excuse me. So, like I said, Clinton instructed him to picture that day, what would he feel, how he would make sense of his life. I already mentioned that. How he would take a measure of everything that was inside of him and let it out through his guitar. Though several other musicians performed on the track, Clinton de-emphasized them in the final mix so that the focus would be on Hazel. Hazel utilized fuzz and wah effects inspired by his idol Jimi Hendrix on the track. Clinton subsequently added delay and other effects during the mixing process, saying, I echoplexed it back on itself 3 or 4 times. That gave the whole thing an eerie feel, both in the playing and in the sound effects. Critics have described the solo as lengthy, mind-melting, and an emotional apocalypse of sound. And the subsequent 5 tracks have been described as sour harmony group meditations, heavy with bass, keyboard, and class consciousness, with the band exploring a psychedelic funk fusion. And Can You Get to That, featuring, which features Isaac Hayes, backing vocal group Hot Butter Soul, and contains elements of folk blues and gospel music. You and Your Folks, Me and My Folks explores an interracial love and features electronically distorted drums. Super Stupid was described by Pitchfork as a tale of dumb is as junkie set to a tune Black Sabbath would have been proud of. The 9-minute closing track, Wars of Armageddon, has been described as a freak-out jam and makes use of paranoid psychedelic sound effects and crowd sounds. Popular music scholar Yuval Taylor described it as a burning hot prefiguring of the music that Miles Davis would perform on his 1975 live album Agaharta, Agharta. And upon release, title and packaging, reportedly Maggot Brain was the nickname of Hazel. Other sources say that the title is a reference to bandleader George Clinton finding his brother Robert's decomposed dead body. Crazy. Skull cracked in an apartment in Newark, New Jersey. The cover artwork depicts of a screaming, I already mentioned, Barbara Cheeseborough, black woman's head coming out of the earth, and it was photographed by Joe Brodsky, and features model Barbara Cheeseborough. And the album's inner fear provided by the Process Church of the Final Judgment, according to author Ricky Vincent, the organization's alleged association with the Manson family, that's what I meant to say, Manson family, along with the album's forward-body themes and striking artwork, lent Funkadelic the image of a death-worshipping black rock band. And commercial and performance and aftermath about this album right here. Westbound Records released the album in July of 1971, and it peaked at number 108 on the Billboard 200 and reached the top 20 of the Billboard R&B albums chart. But it did not reach the UK albums chart. But this is still an amazing record. And after the album's release, Funkadelic effectively disbanded. Drummer Tiki Fulwood was fired due to drug use. Guitarist Tawl Ross was reportedly had a traumatic drug experience after getting into an acid eating contest and then snorting some raw speed before completely flipping out, and did not perform with the group again. And bassist Billy Nelson quit over a money dispute with Clinton. Subsequently, only Clinton and Hazel and keyboardist Bernie Worrell remained from the original Funkadelic lineup. And then in 2005, a reissue included 3 bonus tracks, among them an alternate mix, Maggot Brain, featuring more of the full band. Influence. Oh yeah, there's a lot of influences. Like Redman actually, for his album, Redman pays a tribute to the Maggot Brain cover art. In his 1994 album, There Is a Dark Side, which consists of a song called Cosmic Slop featuring Eric Sermon and Keith Murray, which takes its name from the Funkadelic album of the same name. A lot of artists were influenced by the album cover, like Vernon Reid of the band Living in Color, and Michael Melchinano, Dean Ween of Ween, and then including Angel Bat DeWin, and then Chocolate and Cheese album from 1994, from the track A Tear for Eddie from Ween's 1994 album, and the alternative rock band Sleigh Bells sampled the Can You Get to That in their hit song Real from their 2010 album Treats. And D'Angelo did this too as well for his 2014 album Black Messiah, which the New York Times said captured American unrest through the studio murk of Sly Stone, the fervor of Funkadelic, and the off-kilter grooves somewhere between Jay Dilla and Captain Beefheart. So many artists were influenced of this album cover, and they also sampled this too, sampled some songs off it. This will forever, and I mean forever, be a classic forever. Nobody could ever make a funky mix with rock in it, R&B, psychedelic sound. Nobody can ever make an album like this ever again. Because Funkadelic is like too legendary the way they made this album. And it's a really amazing album. And for all of my funk fans out there, I hope y'all have this album. But if you don't, definitely go search for it at your local record store or online. Get a hold of it, bump it on your turntables. Because that's what I'm going to do too. And here's the skeleton right here, the skull. I'm really happy to have this record, just to be honest. I'm going to keep bumping this every day. I love Funkadelic forever. What is your favorite song off this album? Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe and comment. Follow your boy, and I'll be glad to return to the next one. Y'all have a blessed one and stay safe. Keep bumping this record on your turntables, y'all. Peace, y'all.